In this video, an Amazon seller, Aaron, who is one of the top 100 sellers globally, shares his journey and insights about the evolving advertising landscape on Amazon in 2024. Aaron highlights the growing necessity of advertising and suggests that sellers should spend 15% of their gross revenue to advertise to stay competitive, and warns that spending less than 8 to 10% could mean losing significant market share. Want to learn more? Continue watching this video.
Hello, Aaron. I'm really happy to welcome you on Orange Click channel today. It's actually your first time you're here as a guest, so I'm super excited to discuss a very interesting topic with you today, which is the changing advertising landscape of Amazon in 2024. Usually what we do first here on our channel is that we get to know the guests, so we would know why we're here today discussing this topic as well. So Aaron, could you first introduce yourself and let us know what your experience in the Amazon space?
Sure, absolutely. So Aaron Cordovas here. I started selling on Amazon in 2015, and my goal was to make maybe $500, $1,000 extra a month. If I made $1,000, that'd be like, whoa, that would be spectacular. That was my goal. And like anyone, I'm just learning. The first step in doing things is learning. And I started off selling on Lemon Squeezer, and shortly after, it took, a year or something like that to get to that number one spot. By the second year, it was making enough money. That product, a couple others that I dedicated, my career, my life. I quit my day job and I went into Amazon full time, and I've been going since then. So right now we're in the top 100 sellers on Amazon. If you go to seller ratings, we're like at number 60 or something like that. We sell, over 10,000 units every single day of product. We're on many marketplaces. Our brand is known, very much all over the United States and somewhat a little bit abroad. And we sell a lot of kitchen stuff. Now we're buying companies. We have software. Yeah, that's a little bit, some highlights.
Yeah, you say it in such a casual way, but actually the results you have been able to achieve since 2025, these are really inspiring for a lot of sellers, I think, both in US and in Europe as well. So what would you say was kind of your key to the success so far?
The key to the success is the white hat stuff, guys. Here's where people get crushed that are like Amazon sellers, and they're, hey, I found this new tactic. I'm doing some giveaways over here. I have this little trick that'll get me on page 1 in a week or whatever. When you do those things, you forget about your real business. Why do you exist? Okay, you exist to bring something of quality, something special to the customer, better than your competition, and in a way that's going to affect their life. If you think a company like Apple's one of the most rich companies on the planet, they have one goal, which is to make a product that's better than it was last year, better than it was 10 years ago, better than everything that's going to totally drastically change your life. And so while I'm not anywhere near Apple's level, I know that my goal and my job is not to my competitors, and it's not to trick Amazon, right? The goal of the business is to make the customer be happier. It's to give the customer a better experience than they had before, to have spectacular service to them, to give them something they were not expecting, right? A little bit of friendliness, a little bit of inspiration in the packaging, a bit of like options, way more than they would ever have before. Continue to know that that is my job. And so even on the very first product that we chose, I knew it had to be something that would change the landscape. It would actually change it would change the landscape of selling and buying. And if you're not changing people's lives, then you're not doing anything. You're just trying to cheat Amazon, and that's no life,
Yeah, that's so true. And kind of one of the main topics in the past year or so, like in the interviews we have been doing for our YouTube channel, has been the fact that Amazon is evolving so fast as a marketplace in terms of like what tools and features are available for brand owners. So you have been around for a while, and you have seen Amazon like changing different things and, implementing new tools as well. What would you say? Is it easier today to offer that kind of experience for the customers than it was maybe in the early years?
So it's very different. I would say in the early years, it was easier to get like your first sales, because almost any product you would put up would get some level of sales. I mean, the competition was much smaller. However, when you got big, the counterfeits, the attacks, the takedowns, while it's not been solved, over there it was brutal. I know several people that got up and got totally shut down by somebody and they could never get back up, right? Back in 2016, 17, or in these years, the counterfeits, the fighting, the way to take people down, a lot of things that Amazon has put in place now with brand registry, right? With the way that you do the takedowns, that stuff has been there because while it was easier to get started in the past, it was harder to stop people from having black hat tactics against you. Also, it was easier for people to get away with a lot of black hat things. So now it definitely still happens, right? But it's not so blatant like it was before. People have to really, spend an entire operation to try to do cheating things when before it was so just rampant. So I would say it was easier to get started and easier to have some success, but it was harder to maintain it. And now, once you get going, Amazon has so many things they're providing for sellers, so much more data. If you're going to do a long-term business, right now it's actually a stronger time to do it because there is so many more tools available to you, so much more data, and also a lot of knowledge out there of how to sell on Amazon, what will work, so many more services, right? We have polls, you can survey the customers, what images they like. That kind of stuff didn't exist back then.
Yeah, true. And that's also connected to the main topic of today's interview, which is the advertising space. Of course, advertising has also been changed a lot for Amazon sellers. I remember myself, I have been in the space from like 2016. I remember like basically everyone were able to set up some kind of ads at least, and get quite reasonable results with that. But as we know today as well, if you open up the advertising console, it looks like totally different. There's so many options, so many things to do. So what do you think, why it's important to talk about advertising today for, when we are still kind of in the beginning of 2024?
So the e-commerce game, and really business in general, is really about profit margins, right? And it's about, as you're servicing the customer, okay, how can you make more profit per, let's say, activity, per transaction, per minute? I don't know, something like that. And realize that we're playing Amazon's game, right? This is not our game right now. This is Amazon's game. And they really set the rules. And so back in 2015, I believe there was sponsored ads, but it was, you would put the highest bids and there would be one ad at the very bottom of the page. You had one ad, bottom of the page, and sometimes there would be an ad maybe just on page 2. I mean, it was like you could not see the ads. There's not ads on other people's pages. It was just getting started. And Amazon has slowly been discovering that they can charge the end consumer the same dollar, get the same commission, but they can make 4 times more margin by charging people clicks. And what's happening is, because there is now tens of billions of dollars every year in the advertising space on Amazon alone, I believe soon they'll actually pass Google. They're going to pass Meta, Facebook, on advertising because they're growing so much faster than these other platforms. And if you know that that's Amazon's game, realize you must be in there. You must be using their new ad types, because what we call above the fold, right, comes from the newspaper, where you have like, you'd unfold the newspaper. Whatever's at the top, that's big. Everybody saw that. But like once you have to open it, you may not see it. Same with your desktop or your phone. You open it, the first 4 positions, or in mobile, it might be 2 or 3 positions, are ads. Some people will never, ever even see the organic number 1 spot. Forget about number 2, number 4. Like number 1 may not even be seen. And as the real estate for digital ads on Amazon is increasing, the necessity for brands to have ads and to know where to place them and how to place them is going ever higher. That also means your price of products, right? If you're just going for, you have the lowest price product, that maybe worked back in the day because you would still be positioned 2, 3, or 4 or something and someone to click on it. But now if all you have is the lowest price, you cannot afford the advertising. So you need to develop your product mix to include products of a higher middle or high tier, because you're going to need to advertise. And we'll see in the presentation that I have here, But as people have higher priced products, they're able to advertise more. And it's not Temu or some other platform that's so cheap and everyone just wants the cheap. No, it's because people trust the reviews and they need a higher priced product. So as a business person, you have to evolve to know that, say, hey, I'm going to have higher priced products and be able to advertise and think with an advertising budget on every product. So margins, Amazon wants more margin, which means they will take it from you.
Yeah, okay, very good. Very good introduction. I think, as you already mentioned, you have also a presentation for us to go a little bit more into the details. So go ahead, open your slide deck, and let's see what you prepare for us so we could learn a little bit more about it.
Absolutely. The main topic here, and we'll put it up, it's called using Amazon ads to dominate your category. The topic is pretty simple, okay? There were no spots to advertise. And some advertisers, okay, and I'm going to go over one of them, but some advertisers have actually never advertised. They said, or brands, I would say, brands have not advertised on Amazon, and they're still living in the past. They're living in 2013, living in 2014, where they believe that they could stay the same and not change their strategies and think they're still going to succeed. So, not spending heavily on ads. This is a screenshot, okay, of the #1 lemon squeezer that was up when I started selling on Amazon, okay? This is August of 2015, all right? We had just, I probably had 2 reviews at this point. And we just were brand new. Bellarmine. I remember seeing these guys and I go, these guys are rich. These guys are crazy. Like, they're amazing. They're, wow, I don't know, one day I might be number 10 and I'll be happy and, I'll never be able to touch these guys. That's what I was thinking. I'm like, they're already at 1,000 reviews. What can I do? It's funny because now you see 1,000 reviews, you're like, wow, I can compete there. Now, back then it was like, whoa, these guys are crazy. And you see #1 in the manual juicers. And by the way, as a trick, if you go to this Wayback Machine, you can see it's on there. You can go back in time and see what a page looked like at a certain date. It's amazing. So Wayback Machine, really cool. So there you go. That's what they were doing. Now, Bellarmine, up to this day, I've never seen a sponsored products ad or a headline ad from them. I've seen sponsored products maybe once every year. I see one ad sometime, on page 2. They really must be spending less than 1% of their revenue on ads. Really not spending. And it took a while for me to catch up to them. But if you look at this page now, this is today. This is the result. I searched it today, lemon squeezer. Okay. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spots, or you're saying maybe 9 spots if you count the image. 9 spots that are above the fold on desktop. And there is 1 organic placement. Literally 1 organic placement. The rest are all ads. Okay? That is ridiculous. 8 out of 9 positions are ads. And so if you look, we have in Zulay Kitchen right here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, we have 6. Okay? Oh, I'm sorry, 7. 7 of the 8 ads are us. Okay? This is called dominating. And so what happens is you're pushing people away from even trying to enter in the category. And what has happened is these guys didn't wake up to the fact that we were, I don't know, eating their lunch. This is absolutely crazy. And then slowly, before Bellarmine was #1, right? Now, if you look all the way to number 25, you could hardly even see them, right? I had to make it really small for them to even fit on there. At number 25 is Bellarmine, okay? We got #1, we got #2, we got number 7 and number 10. 4 of the top 10 spots. Why? Is it because my image is more pretty than them? No, I mean, the product, they've actually kind of copied it. They have the same angle as mine. They've done it. They've redone their image. But redoing your image is good, but not enough. Because if you go back, people will never pick up another brand if the first page looks like this. Unless you're a celebrity or dominated by TikTok or something. But it's not an option to not advertise heavily. So I think if you're going heavy into a thing, you should be spending up to 15%, possibly even more if you have high margins in advertising from your gross revenue, 15%. And if you're spending under 10 or let's say under 8%, you're probably giving up a lot of market share to your competitors. So then if you look, this is the parent company to Bellarmine, okay? It's Parella's. And Parella's, when I was starting, they were in number 100 to 200. They're now at 675. They've been getting destroyed. The only reason is because they're not advertising. And we just purchased a company in January, that was not advertising. Literally, companies that are not advertising are going out of business. It is no longer an option. This is a must, right? And it's not. I'm not an Amazon spokesperson. I'm just telling you, like, people who are not advertising do not make it. So here we go. Zulay was going from 0, and now it's at literally 51 on all Amazon seller ratings. Okay, this is what happens when you don't advertise. This is what happens when you're going aggressive. And of course, you have to do multiple things at once. You have to increase the image. You have to, make it more beautiful. I just want to talk about, hey, if you have all the right things in place, you have a good product, you have a good page, you have good images, and good advertising, this is what happens. Just to give you an idea of what is possible. I want to share with you what is possible. It's not to brag. First year, we did $8,000 in sales. Okay. Second year, we did $165,000 in sales. Then we did 1.5 million, 2.9 million, 8.7, 38 million, 60 million plus. 2022, 2023, we both also had increases, okay? I'm going to stop sharing all this info because at some point it becomes... at this point, you're already at the top, okay? So this is real when you do the right advertising. And what I want to show you in 2024, okay? Because someone's been coming in and there's this new competitor that's come in the market in the frothers, and they're doing very, very good. What is it that they're doing? Okay, these headline ads, guys. Just last month, Amazon made it where when you do a headline ad, this is a sponsored brands ad, you are required now to make a creative with it. That's an image or a video. Okay, why are they doing that? Because Amazon's seen that the performance is so much higher for ads that have these images and these videos. This guy's coming in. I almost can't advertise here. I'm doing a new video for it. I'm doing a similar model. Like I'm gonna fight this guy, but I'm just telling you, he's making a little bit uncomfortable. He's making a little bit uncomfortable because he's coming with this ad and gone super hot and heavy, and they're way at the top. And of course, he's promoting the rechargeable, and we haven't really gotten to that model very well. So he's putting something new, and their price is higher. This is what I was talking about about the margin. My product, right, is not selling for that price. Their base model is $25, right? Why are they able to then advertise? Because they have a hook, they have a video at the top, they have a high-priced product that is actually worth it. It's not just they're charging more for the same item. It's a different item. So yeah, we're going to go in, we'll make one that looks like it, we'll make a better video, and we will crush them, right? That's my hope. And they're not winning, they're just taking some market share. But this, like if this was you, you would be happy because you found an entrance. The way that we find entrances now is with these headline ads. They're so massive, okay? Now, try the video. Do the video, do the headline, okay? The next piece, okay? Oh, by the way, if you're having trouble making these, it's because you have to select the destination. It can't be like a custom URL. It has to be a storefront page. So if you're not seeing that option, select send the customer to the storefront, and then that's how you can make it. And then what you want to do, let's say you're talking about lemon squeezer, okay? For a lemon squeezer, you maybe put an image that has lemons in it, right? And then when you're advertising orange juicer or orange squeezer, you can put an ad that has an orange in it. You want to categorize and group together the video that categorizes and talks about those keywords, right? And you want to have an image that talks about these other specific set of keywords, because now you have to try more creatives. This is how you reach the customer. Amazon is going crazy with these different searches, and they have so many ads that your life is becoming how to advertise, okay? This is what you're supposed to do. And if you're not spending, or someone on your team is spending literally multiple hours every single day on how to advertise, you're going to become Perellas. You're going to become Bellarmine. And nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to have their business crash to be 20% of what it was. Otherwise, you wouldn't be listening to this podcast. So, that's basically it. That's my presentation, guys. Please spend money on your headline ads, customize them, a lot of images, a lot of video, do them specific by search terms, and go heavy on it, and try more types of ads. Do not give up. And if you can't spend, get a new model. Change your model, change your creative. Change your model, change your creative, change your price. And you keep doing that, and you'll be going to the top. Guys, I'm Aaron Cordovez. Follow me on LinkedIn, on Instagram. I got my weekly Aaron Cordovez show. And all of you guys feel free to send me a direct message on any of these social medias. Always happy to chat with you guys.
Thank you so much, Aaron, for sharing your thoughts and insights based on how you work with your own brand. It's very interesting to see here. So I think one question that stands out, obviously you put in a lot of effort on advertising side and staying on top of that. But I think often sellers are kind of trying to find a balance between the organic sales and PPC sales. And if I'm already ranked as number 1 or 2 or 3 organically, I won't spend that much on advertising. So how do you really find the balance for your own products? Like, how do you actually spend so much more compared to your own competitors in the space?
Yes, I believe strongly that we are spending more than everybody. Maybe not in every category, but if you're at the top, you don't want to let other people crush you. That's the thing. The advertising, it's on the offensive, but it's also the defensive. Because if you just stop advertising and you're number 1, it means you're leaving the cost per click to be low for someone else to figure out their advertising, to get that image or that video that's going to win, to find those keywords that are going to make them win. And then when those guys find they're like, oh yeah, this is working for me, and then you try to defend because now your BSR is getting worse, right? It might be too late because now they're going to say, no, I really want this one, and they're going to up their bids and they're going to do anything. So you want to stop your competition from spending that money and finding out when it's easy. You keep the bids high in the whole market, so it actually discourages people from coming to your market. Now, I'm not talking about my products. I'm going over there, how much I've sold, all that stuff. People are going to come to my market. They're going to see me, and I know there's professional sellers, there's newbies. All sorts of people have tried to launch products to compete against us. 99% of them fail, right? There's that 1% that's, like the one I just showed. They're actually making a difference because they brought something to the market. They brought something special. They're doing something valuable. If you're just going to say, hey, this guy's rich, let me go after him, you're probably not going to succeed. You have to figure out, what are you going to do for my customer that I'm not doing for them? If you can figure that out, then you should come in the space. And then I'm going to learn from you and improve my offering. And the customer is going to win from us competing. Okay? If you just try to let me just take his market, it doesn't work. So I say, if you're spending less than 5% of your total revenue on ads, you're making a humongous mistake, right? Unless you're going the Dollar Tree route, right? If you're going to just have everything super, super, super cheap and you're hardly going to spend on ads, honestly, Jabron Niaz, number 1 Amazon seller, number 1 private label seller in the world on Amazon, he does spend that little, but he doesn't ever want to increase his prices. I've talked to him. He's like, I don't want to ever increase my price. I just want to give affordable stuff and affordable bed sheets and affordable. And I'm like, okay, well, if that's your strategy, that's one thing, right? But most people are not him. Right, most people are going to increase their prices and want a higher margin and everything else. So
okay, yeah, I don't know how big is your product portfolio right now for Soleil Kitchen, but obviously one thing you highlighted and we talked earlier is about new features. When we talk specifically about advertising space, how does your team actually keep up with the changes? What would you say? How do you evaluate? How fast do you usually test the new stuff? For example, I think a month or 2 ago, Amazon introduced the sellers can use vertical videos for the video ads. Have you already implemented that? Are you that fast to kind of roll things out?
No. Okay, so here's, I would say that there are people doing that. We have a lot of vertical videos where we've been on social media. We've been going that TikTok trend. And sometimes the features are not released. So there was the Amazon posts with video. And it was rolled out everywhere. We kept trying to do it, and it was like, oh my gosh, and it was so long to get there. And finally, when it was available, good, we're doing that, right? The ads, honestly, you're this is news to me. I haven't seen it. Maybe we put it up, but if not, right after this, I'm gonna go to the team. I'm like, what's going on? I'm gonna open and make some videos myself. So we don't always stay up to everything, but normally when something is very impactful, it will show up on LinkedIn and people will start talking about it. Actually, I haven't heard about these vertical video ads, but what I have seen is when people are winning, right, in the space and you're paying attention to the market, you'll see people come up and say, oh, wow, there's this new video placement. I need to be there, right? So how do we do it? First of all, in terms of the bids and keeping track of everything, we use our own software. It's called Samurai Seller, right? It is an ad software. And we use it ourselves and make it for ourselves. Okay, cool. So that does all the bid changes. We have an automation tool. But making the creatives, you can't replace that with a machine, not at this time, because it needs to have actual creatives. So it needs a person on there. So we have someone who just creates those ads all the time, and we need to be better at it. And we're always like, I just hired like more. I'm always hiring and looking for more people because I feel like if a person is doing their job correctly in the advertising space or any other part of your business, they should pay for their salary and more. So why would we not have a person trying all these new ad types? So now that I have this, I'm gonna put a person only trying and testing vertical video ads. I'm gonna go find it right now. Like literally, I'm shocked that this is you're bringing this information to me for the first time. So.
Well, happy you're also learning something that we are not only learning from you, but I can also share something with you. Well, great to hear. But yeah, it seems like a lot of work, like daily work, just testing and getting the data and doing it. So do you have any? I don't know how big is your team as well. Do you have a mainly in-house team to work with most of the areas of your business, right? What would you say, like maybe something like a insight for other experienced sellers who are about to scale or in the scaling process, like how to really put the operation side together and have enough people and also make it run successfully on a day-to-day basis? I think you have been through probably a lot of challenges on the way.
Yes. I would say right now what I learned from this, I was listening to last week in this billionaire guy. This billionaire guy had a talk. And my wife and I were there listening to him every step. And he, someone asked him, like, what's your day-to-day like? And when you're not, and we have like 70 staff approximately, 70. And when you get to a certain level, you might lose track of some things, like even this ads, the fact that I'm like, that's crazy. But you need to have these one-on-one conversations with your most direct people under you. So let's say you have a team of 4, or you have a team of 5. Go have the one-on-one talks with them, right? Go on a walk, do whatever. And then also go over your KPIs. So like, hey, where are your numbers for the week? We need to get here. How, what are your barriers from getting there? Or what are your plans to get there? And talk over each piece and just listen. Because what happens is sometimes people get lost by themselves, right? It's happened to me, right? When you're by yourself, you may not actually have the courage or like the drive to change it and do something. I just met with somebody last week and I did this one-on-one. After coming back from that, I go, I'm going to do the one-on-one. And I found that somebody had all these amazing ideas that I love, but they said they didn't think it was going to get approved, so they didn't submit for the budget. And I said, what? That's approved. Like, let's go do it right now. And I said, no, good. The budget's there. But what happens when we're just sitting at our desks all day, we don't even have that conversation. So most of your staff today probably have ideas. They have plans, but they don't have anybody that they've talked it over with and said, hey, this is going to work or it's not going to work. So do those one-on-one. Take a walk with them for a while. I did, half an hour walk, 1 hour walk. Talk about, hey, what were those KPIs? What were the metrics that were reached? Where do you want to get to? And then how would you get there? What are the barriers? And listen to them. Because what's crazy is that human touch, just asking them, like, what is it that you're going to do? What's your plan? A lot of times that will give the space for the person to give their bright ideas, to give their thoughts. And that's why you have a team, because each team member has something valuable to bring.
Yeah, very good thoughts. Yeah, nice. So besides advertising, kind of to wrap up with today's interview, what would you say, what should be the main focus for sellers in 2024? I know you go to a lot of different events. You definitely network with a lot of similarly experienced sellers as well. What are you usually discussing? What's kind of the main focus areas for the upcoming year?
So I think it's every year it's the same. There's 3 things. We call it the 3 Ps. Okay, your product. Guys, that is your business. Your entire business revolves around your product. If your product is garbage, like, or not up to speed, or it's a C or it's a B, you're gonna have problems, because no matter what, the other ones will not work very well. So it's your product, it's your page, what it looks like, what's your image, what's your video on the page, what are your reviews like, what are those bullet points, what's that title? And then your promotion, which is the ad. So it's the 3 Ps. If you have the and they all work together. Like, if you increase your product and your product is so nice and so sexy and so like drop dead amazing that when you look at it, you're like, I need to have it. Your ads are so easy. You do nothing and you're going to go viral on TikTok, right? Your page is going to look already amazing because they've never seen something like it, right? Vice versa, if your product is very mediocre or poor, no amount of marketing, no amount of promotion, no amount of like wonderful tactics and renderings on your page will make it go. So the big focus, I would say, is plan. Predict exactly what would be the thing that takes away your top spot, or how are you going to take that top spot? Think in what will the market be like in a year from now? What will the market be like in 2 years from now? Yes, of course, there's a lot of Chinese coming in. There's a lot of lower prices. So what would be the thing? Envision, use your imagination. What could that market be like, 10 years from now, right? 5 years from now, 3 years from now? What is going to put your brand at the top of mind and consideration 1 or 2 years from now? Step away from your problems of today and say, what can my company be? What can things be like 1 year from now, 3 years from now? And if you actually put that product development in now, if you actually put that video team, your image team, your design team in now, if you put your advertising team in place now, if you get everything ready to have a massive change in the entire market, then you can set yourself up for success, right? Then you can have big wins. Just dealing with your current problems and you're ranking from number 1 3 to number 2 or number 3 to 5 and you're just dealing with that. No, think about what's going to change the whole category. Which product change will be that? What design? What new patent can you make? Can you buy a patent? Can you, what is it that you could do to actually change the market, to change the everyday experience of most of the people buying? And if you can answer that question, you have a massive future ahead of you.
Sounds really good. Well, thank you so much, Aaron, for coming here today to join me, to share your thoughts on advertising, but also selling on Amazon and how to be successful. So thanks a lot for your time, and hopefully we're able to see you again on our channel soon.
Awesome. Perfect.
I hope you got some good insights that will help you stay ahead of your competition. If you enjoyed this video, hit like, subscribe, and if you have additional comments, use the comments section below with your questions and anything that comes to your mind. And now I recommend you to watch other video where you will learn how to use the day parting strategy to improve your advertising costs.